Hello. Does anybody understand? Oh, you want to know the question? Okay, what's a generator? When there's no electric, you use it to restart the electric to have electric. Restart. Like at the end of December, January is a restart. You know? Like January, generator, Jenna, Aunt Jenna. My aunt passed away when she was young. Her name was Jennifer. She passed away. Aunt Jennifer at the beginning. Now the thing is, you got to remember what's perfect about a Jenna or a Jennifer or the month of March is that the month of March is the third month, and on the digital clock that's a total of something. So we do not have to go any further, and I do not have to give any further explanation. For the reason is, I don't know the answer until somebody asks me a question so I can go ahead and think. Because there's nobody asking me the questions. Right now all I think about is, how come he knows so much he thinks he knows? That's dangerous, is it not? Not for me, but for those who are curious. And I'm not looking to meet anybody, and I don't want any money. I have enough money to buy my food, feed my cats, have my friends over, pay my Videotron, pay my cable, pay for my apartment, pay for my gas in my car, put my budget in order, and guess what? For some reason something doesn't work out, I always have money left over. I always have money to last me for at least 36 months. Do you understand? 36 months. You need 36 months by the time you restore yourself. 36 one side, 36 the other side, 72. You know, my angel number is 7286. The 86 part is because 8 and 6 is 14, which would make 7.7, which would make it fair. And on the other side, you would have 7, 6. Well, that would be God, and the God of Sun. That number is 7, number is 6. Now, the other part of it, when you reduce it back to the time of Jesus, the other part of that, taking away 2005 years from when I got sick, which would make it 5281. The 5 on 2 on one side of the 2 dots of the clock would make a 7, which would make it perfect God. And on the other side of the clock, makes it a 9, which is for the grid and the maximum you can get as any human being or anywhere in baseball. You can't get anywhere in baseball without getting into over innings, but then you have a 0 and a 1, so then you have something completely different, and you're in another section, yet you're in the same section. Something's going wrong, but they're in the bleachers anyways. But my mind is not in the bleachers, and I wouldn't bleach yellow for anything. You see, the Indian knows that if you piss the yellow into the shit, then you throw the hops from the beer in it, and you mix it up, it'll turn hard, and then you take it, it turns into a pellet. You can take it and crush it up and throw it into the field, and our poo and the cow's poo will be the same poo. Poo, poo, hoo, hoo. Nobody makes the big money anymore, eh? Screw off, guys. It's time to shut up and put out. You know what I'm saying? You got to drink the hand cream. It's got a little bit of that spermy look in it. That's the stuff that's going to cleanse your bowels and clean up all that stuff so you don't get blocked up the veins. Then bacteria runs in, and then you don't longer have the veins running, flowing properly, and your heart's all backed up, so everything's blocked up. You got to call a plumber. The whole thing is, this liquid plumber that you pour, it's never perfect. When you pour it in the sink, you see the shiny pipes after. When you look at your heart, you always got a scar by the doctor. The DR, doc, door, ding-a-ling. Started with a D, put an R. It's a ding-a-ling. Who knows what's next? If the R is next, it's R, 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 like the pirate. Like they really know what they're doing. They do. They take it apart, they put it back together. It works a little bit better, but it's not exactly the same, so you have no guarantees. You know, the only guarantee you have in life is the breath you push out of your nose purposely, and what you suck into your mouth purposely is what you do, and those are the only words and things we're allowed to do, because everything after that, if you get a profit more than anybody else above you, it's no fair, and they want to share. Now they care. Since you got the cash, everybody wants to share. It's not fair. It's not a rose, or a rose air, or a rose in the air, because it stinks. They want to share what's mine, but I didn't offer it to share. I give it away for free. No one takes it from me. Why is everybody grabbing it? They call it a tax, TX, transmission from the X-Man. What are they transmitting? The cash, from your pocket to theirs. Put it in. I won't tell you exactly why. We'll call it the Watergate files, because they blocked the waters with a gate. They called it a dam, or a madam, or a madman, Saddam, madman's Hussein. Hussein what? Or was it the Americans that just wanted to put into our heads that we repeat these words and rhymes that they look bad? because they're rhymes and riddles. So we made them bad, so we should look at them so that we as a nation can go ahead and fight them, because we made them look bad through manipulation. But it wasn't a commercial and it wasn't a TV show. It's not like the truth of sports. When the guys get on the field, you jump. When you play football, you just don't go say, oh my God, maybe. We're playing 100%. It's the whole game. It's not called let's play 90%, because how do you gauge that? You know, when you press the pedal in any sport, you got to press the pedal to the end. They don't say you're going to get a speeding ticket. The only thing they tell you is follow some of the rules. Don't pull anybody's neck off, because you can't play with a guy with no head. He won't know where he's going. And if you pull off his head, you don't know what you're doing, so you're no better than the guy with no head. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that you have two arms, you got a mouth and two eyes, that you're any different or any better than anybody else. There's no such thing as better. Getting better. Having better than what? Being better. Better what? What is the reality? You know what? It's like a cut. When you get cut, you got a nick. Then all of a sudden you say, oh, it's like coals. You know, when coals, you nick the coals. You say in French, colis, nick colis. Nico in the cage. Nicolas Cage. Let's put Nico in the cage because he's got a nick. The nicotine butt. The butt, the part at the end of the cigarette. That doesn't hurt, but we're still left over as we burnt the rest down our throat, yet there's no fire. But it's black down there, and it's yellow. They put the yellow in to trick you. The Indians knew yellow was good, so they put a little yellow in the cigarette and said, if there's yellow down there, yellow must be good, because piss takes apart the shit with the hops and reproduces and changes and puts everything back into the ecosystem. Shut down the plants. We must drink hand cream with a little bit of mixture. You got to mix it up. Don't forget what goes in if you don't burp it out. Where's the air going? It's a pressure inside of you, and it's busting you, and it's pinching your nerves, and then you get fibromyalgia. And everybody thinks it's a real disease, and it ain't. It's the nerves and the pressure. Without the burp, we don't get to relieve any of the pressure. Then it pressurizes all our little things back in the back, and everybody gets a signal, and nothing works properly anymore. And the whole thing is, there's no doctors to teach anybody, because it's all costing money. And thank God for YouTube, we get to get it for free. If doctors should be free, life is to live, you know. What are you taking it away and shooting it for the fucking money? I'm sorry if I swear. I don't like to swear. I'm a little pissed off at all you guys. But you can't have fun without the money. The kids play Monopoly and hopscotch. Come on, man. Who's going to wake up first? I mean, all the musicians, they sang the songs we love, because what they sang was so much of the truth. It was so great we cried. We wanted the same, but we didn't know. We knew the shame. We knew to blame. We knew who to blame, and everybody was to blame. But you know what? It was a but, if and or but, if and or but. But you know what? Bend over, I'll kick you in the butt. You better remember, not all butts are good, and not all butts should be said at all. But leave it there and leave it alone. And I'll tell you, the butt of the story is that there is a true story, and there is the untrue story, the fairy tale, and then there's the in-between. So there's actually three. You know what I'm saying? Three. 3 times something because of something. How you made the grid, because there's 2 stories and one that tells the truth for the X-Man. There's 2 stories and one that tells the truth for the angel, and there's one story, there's 2 stories and one that tells the truth for God. 3, 6, 9, and that's why the grid is 9. That's why we only can go to 9. Otherwise, I don't know any other languages or abacuses. I don't know how they work. But does anybody count to the new numbers of Ti Lo Bo San Chong Chie Ta? It's a language I made with my son about 8 years ago. That's not the exact order. It's in one of my books. It was Bo Li To San Chie Ta. Something like that. But it was more than 9. It was 10, 11, 12, but in new words, so it never looked the same. So when it came back again, you couldn't add it up because they didn't match. So the most we can do was 10. And then we went to 0 and 20. 10 fingers, 10 toes. The 40 days in the desert, because you need a friend. His 10 fingers and 10 toes, and your 10 fingers and 10 toes. And then again, you're each one. So it's 42. And you each have stories. 3 stories, so you have to add 2 more and 2 more. It's 44, 46. Then there's the angel in heaven and God, reaching up to 52, 54. The number of cards in the deck. Add up the numbers of cards. In the hearts, the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, which is actually 0, but it's reversed the other way to see the difference of the other 0. That doesn't exist. The other 0 is when you open the package. Open it up, look inside, it's a big 0. So the other 0. Then you have Jack, Queen, King. They all add up to 91. There's 4 suits. 4 by 91 is 364. Then you have 2 jokers. One is red, meaning for all the man's truth of life, the blood that flows forever. And one is up to black. But there's 2 blacks. And you only can have 1, so it counts only for 1/4, making up the February 29th leap year. That's what the cards, and that's what's in the story of the cards. Once you learn the basic rules and directions, you must always stick to the point, because not following the point, all points are lost. You must follow point and directive. There's a thought before an action. The nouns and the verbs, the ja, the ja gabor for the Spanish people, ja, for the French people, je, for some people, J like in Jack, for the jack of all trades, for the one who does know the difference. Jack's off one side, Jack's off the other side. He sees how high the flow is. He knows the difference. When it comes to the ground, you can see the difference. You understand? If you put it on a meter or a weight meter, something came down. Then we'd have to separate it to see exactly what it was, but who cares? It fell, and it was wet. If we gave a name to what the wetness became from and what it was, well, then that's something different. Now we mark it down and we have a recipe. But if we're not marking it down, who cares what the names are sometimes, right? Hey, bud, how you doing? Good, good, good. You know, bud, buddy, bud beer. Oh, bud. Hey, bud, you're my buddy, Budweiser. When a bud is wiser, it's fantastic. But you know what? I'm no wiser than the next, but I'm wise enough for myself to know that if I shut my mouth and open my eyes and ears and let my senses do the work, I can learn from all the others who know different, from what I don't, from what they do, and I can catch. I'd rather be second than watch all the dirt go in the air, and then I can see what the pebbles look like. Catch them in my teeth, well, I get to grind them down. I'll have something to chew on. At least I won't have to get any cigarettes in there. Chewing tobacco, I'll just grind it on the sand. You know, our teeth are supposed to be blue. Don't you remember in the other video? If our teeth were blue and the white was on the inside, the blue will protect. You have to eat your toothpaste, not spit it out. They told you all the wrong thing. It's got to go in to purify your insides. It cleanses the ivory on your teeth. It's supposed to clean the inside of the red blood of your veins. It cleanses, it clears it out from having that problem with the heart and all that fat and shit that sticks in. You got to eat the toothpaste. It's just how much and what you mix it with. And you know what? Everybody's saying, take this pill, take that pill. Well, wait, the side effects. There's 942. Well, let me tell you one thing. I take my medication because I know how much to take. The doctors told me one thing, but I only felt well when I got to the level that I needed to where I feel well. Do I sound quick? Well, listen, bipolar is 1,000 times X. I'm very lucky that I'm able to control it. I can stop and talk real slow. You see, I don't have to let it push me around because I'm not scared of it. I'm not. So why should I have to take anything when I'm fine? I can sit down and relax to any rock and roll music. I can listen to anybody, but I don't want anybody pulling me or pushing me or telling me what I have to. Because at the end of time, I die. And that's the notice to leave. But in between that, be fair and understanding to who I am, or I am you. Just say it again. I am who I am. That's all I want to be. And I want to treat all those who are, that they shall be who I am is. And you are, and we all are I ams. And one day we knew. But let's not nuke us, because all will be new if we remain friends. Thank you. Raphael Ben Laser Lipa from 7286, Angel Transmission 5281. The understanding that the maximum is 7 is God's number, and the grill is 9 on the other side, separated with those 2 dots on the clock, because on one side we can have 1 6, and then we can have a 5, and then we can have another 5, but we don't want to report or repeat, so we put 6, 5, and 4 is 15. Otherwise it should be 6, 5, and 5, which should be 16. Happy sweet 16. The other side of the grid now. 81 is 9. Baka! Nazzarello! Let's all remember all the games in the casino is an addiction to be able to get closer to where the rules of the Lord stick. And they're all over the place now, so we know what the message is. You just have to learn how to read the abacus of the 3rd millennium. When the 3rd millennium man comes about to read it, he shall read it to you. It is your choice what to believe. Or let us do magic together, and you ask the questions, and I'll learn what the answers are. I will learn at the same time. My mouth will speak, and we'll both learn at the same time, thus making it all fair. The only difference is my lips are moving. and my ears are open. Thank you for now. Ta 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 ta.